أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله.
Sami, you have to believe in the God of Ibrahim. There's only one God. In Israel have said Shahada. So we're very happy about this. My name is Samuel Shropshire. I'm from Washington, D.C., but I live in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. And I'm very happy to be here. I've been here for 13 years, traveling back and forth to USA. And my work is to call people to Islam, to call people to faith. You know, I've been a Muslim all my life. I was born Muslim, okay? We're all born Muslim. So, but I had a mother. My mother called herself a Christian. She was Protestant, Baptist. She would take me to the church every Sunday. But she taught me at home, Sami, you have to believe in the God of Ibrahim. There's only one God. My mother taught me this. And all my life I believed it because, you know, the children believe what their mothers say. He and my mother named me Samuel after Prophet Samuel. Prophet Samuel is mentioned in Surah 2 of the Quran. He's called the prophet who anointed Talut to be king of the Jews. I'm very happy. I had a Muslim name. My mother taught me to be Muslim, but she didn't know what was Muslim. This was incredible. She never heard of Islam. She never heard of Prophet Muhammad. She never heard of Quran. She never saw a Quran. The God of Ibrahim. There were beautiful color photos. Men in long white gowns, tobes, and camels and sheep. It was so interesting to me as a child. All pictures, very colorful pictures. And I would try to behave so I could get the book after the church service finished. My mother would take the book home. She put me in her lap and she would read to me. And over again, Sami, when you're older, you have to pray to the God of Ibrahim. There's only one God. Well, I think I should tell you why I came to Saudi Arabia. I came here as a Christian minister. I was a pastor in a Christian church, and I was asked to come here to work on a project involving Quran. And here I learned about Islam. I didn't know anything about Islam. I didn't know anything about Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. I didn't know anything. But they wanted me to come and proofread the English, a new English version of Quran.
Yeah.
So I came. In order to do this, I had to read Quran. So for the first time in my life, I'm reading Quran. I'm reading at night, writing down questions. And then the next morning, I meet with a group of sheikhs and I ask them questions. Why does it say this? Wouldn't it be better to say it this way in English? Sometimes they would agree with me, but sometimes they wouldn't agree and they would explain. This lasted for 3 years. In addition to proofreading, they asked me to put footnotes at the bottom of each page. The footnotes were I was cross-referencing the Quran with the Bible. So where Ibrahim is mentioned in the Quran, I show where it's mentioned in the Bible. And this interested Christians and Jews in reading Quran. This was to attract them to the Quran. And since then, we've had many thousands of people come to Islam. In the last few years, more than 300 Jews in Israel have said Shahada.
Yeah.
So we're very happy about this. After I was here about 6 months, and I'm reading Quran for 6 months, I began to understand Islam. I was less and less afraid to be in public. And one day, for Maghrib prayer, I hear Azan, and I went running to Masjid Taqwa down the street. And I went up to the mosque, but I don't know if I can go inside because I know I can't go to Mecca. I was a Christian, can't go to Mecca. So what to do? I just started knocking on the door of the mosque. And people were going in and coming out, going in and coming out, but I'm just standing there knocking. Everybody's looking at me. What are you doing? Strange. Finally, after about 10 minutes, the muaddin from the mosque came to the door. His name was Shafiq Zubair. And Shafiq said to me, "May I help you?" I said, yes, please help me. My name is Samuel. I'm a Christian from the United States. Is it okay if I come inside the mosque? Shafiq stepped outside and gave me a big hug, and he said, "Ahlan wa sahlan." I went into the mosque, and I sat in the back. I just sat down, and I watched. I was observing. I didn't understand what people were saying in the prayer. I didn't understand Arabic at that time. And I didn't understand the motions of bowing, kneeling, doing sajud. After 3 days, I went to the mosque 5 times a day for 3 days, and after that I said to Shafiq, "Can you teach me to pray like a Muslim?" And Shafiq said, "Of course." And he started teaching me Al-Fatiha. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman Maliki Yawmiddin. My whole life changed. Now my eyes were open. I began to understand what my mother told me when I was a young child. You have to pray to the God of Ibrahim. I began to understand Islam. A few days later, Dr. Sadiq Malki took me to a Dawah center, and I said Shahada. After that, he put me in the car, and he took me to Mecca. And when I got to Mecca, I said, "Dr. Sadiq, please, there's one thing I want to see quickly. I would like to see the Kaaba." So he's taking me through thousands and thousands of people, and we get to an opening, and I could see the Kaaba in front of me. And it fell on my face crying with the words of my mother going through my ears. "Sami, Sami, you got to pray to the God of Ibrahim." And here I am at the Kaaba that was built by Ibrahim and Ishmael, his son. I'm so happy and so blessed. And I live such a fulfilled life here in Saudi Arabia and in America. I go back to America every 4 or 5 months and working in both places. We have 2 means of dawah. One, to believers, people who are born Muslim, who understand Islam, but they leave Islam. Young people today, we try to bring them back to sound faith in Islam. And then we have dawah to unbelievers. Alhamdulillah. We need to stay firm in faith, embrace Allah constantly 5 times a day in prayer, and we need to study Quran and memorize Quran, which will keep us strong in faith. May God help us throughout the world today. Muslim youth are outside Saudi Arabia, inside Saudi Arabia. We have a privilege. God is for us. Shaitan is our number 1 enemy, but God is for us. And whenever we fall down, God can pick us up. There's no end of God's mercy. He's Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim.